So yesterday I brought this coin and I brought it at a top position, but I wasn't worried about it. I just wanted a coin that wasn't going to die. And I knew if it comes down at a loss, I ape the top. I think about here, literally the top or around here. I didn't mind because I put in not a great amount, but I knew I can yield farm this. And even if it drops down to here, which was sort of my level, I know in a week or two I'll be okay. Yeah, let alone if it goes down to like here. If it goes down to here, then obviously we got questions to ask, but I'll probably sell before then. Now, I've priced in myself on a 50% drop down, and I use a 50% drop. Like if I told you you can buy coins and you can be down 50% and still make money, you'd probably say like, how? Is that's impossible. It doesn't work. I don't want to do it. It sounds illegal. But I literally do this all the time. So I'm not actually a good trader. Yeah, but I'm a very profitable, extremely profitable trader. In fact, I don't tend to lose too much. I think I lost one trade yesterday, but I'm just lazy with trading. I should sit here all day and just trade and I make thousands. But in theory, here's what the plan is. So for yourself, you want to find a coin that's going to last 3 months. That's the number one rule. It's either been around for 3 months or it's going to last 3 months. Take, for example, like we can pull up my watch list here. This is an old watch list that I've had for many, many months. So if we pull up something, anything on this list would fit the criteria. Let's say frog, yeah? And let's say we want to buy frog, and it doesn't matter what price we're going to be in. We're going to buy $100 of frog, and judging by the chart, it looks like it can go lower, but it's probably not going to be. So you would buy frog at any price, it doesn't matter. So you'd come here and you'd buy your little, let's buy $10 of it just to demo it, yeah? You'd obviously buy a lot more, but in theory, what we're going to do is we're going to one-sided LP farm it on a bid-ask position. If you can do a spot, it's up to you. But in theory, we can either make the pool on Orca, which is very cheap. So we can come here and we can create a frog pool if there isn't one. The reason we use Orca is because it's 0.02 to actually um, make a pool. So it's very cheap. But the same principles apply. We're going to do a one-sided. So you can create it. Oh my God, my internet's so bad. But let me just quickly show you what you'll do. So you'd find a pool with volume. So for example, Frog Solana, once it loads up. And we'll search and we'll see on Meteora as well. So check both. I prefer Meteora. You'll probably prefer Meteora because it's a bit more simpler. So we can go for this pool. We don't care too much about the fee because both of the platforms have dynamic fees. So you can see here the fee is slightly higher. And when there's volume, it will automatically put the fee up by itself. They call it adaptive fee on Orca and they call it I think dynamic fee on Meteora. So you'll probably prefer Meteora because it's much simpler and they have the bid ask. So what you want to do, you see here, both of them are colored. Now this Solana is grayed out. So I can just put frog in and I can deposit it. But I want a wider range. So where do we think frog is going to go? Yeah, I think even to here, I'd be very happy with my $10. Yeah. So I kind of want a 0.35 cents price. And you can just put in actually, it's in Solana, so we can do it from the chart here. So we can say, I think it's up to here, 100% up. Yeah, for example. So I know for a fact that if I just deposit this frog, it will swap out. It'll automatically start DCAing out for me and break even. Now, if frog drops down, all you do is you withdraw this and then you literally just extend your range to the bottom. So this is just catching the bottom on a one-sided. Now, because you entered here, you must bear in mind that if it drops down, you kind of want to extend this up how much that dropped. So if it drops 20% or 16% here, and this is our new bottom, we was at 100%, we want to be 116 or just slightly above it to actually break even because our range has gone lower, our entry price is much lower. I typically tend to put it a bit more up because I like more profit. but it's totally up to you. It may never go back up, but it may just go to here. Or if it goes really low, you just extend the range more. Now the fees will decrease as you go up. So you can see here 0.05 yield. Never go off that, it's never accurate. But as you go up, the yield shrinks. So the tighter the range, the better it is. But you can never be at a loss. Typically, you'll always be at a loss at some point if you invest. If you hold a meme coin for more than a few days, you're going to be at a loss at some point. If you hold it more than 2 weeks, unless you got a really God sent entry, it wouldn't be worth it. So you kind of want to just always be yield farming. Now, the downside is if it's a new coin or low cap coin, and take for example this one, I'm yield farming. This one is 17 mil. If this runs to 200 mil, I would have been way better off holding it than yield farming it. So I swap my coins. My range is up here somewhere. So if suddenly it moons up, I just end up with Solana here. So it's a downside of that. But obviously I'll chase it and I'll see if I'll assess it from there. But that's just a risk I'm willing to take from that. Now with Meteora, it's a much simpler process. You literally just, let me refresh this. You literally just click um, deposit. You don't have to adjust ranges. It does it for you. But the downside is you might have to deposit more so, which is refundable, but you kind of have to lock it away, and I'll explain why. So here is our position. So we've got 100% range. This is 100% pool. So this is a bin step of 100. There are other pools. You can create pools, but they're more costly. I would create an Orca. So we've got a spot position. So you can see here, each position is about 4 frog. Excuse me. And as we go up, there'll be less and less frog in the pools. And if we shrink our range, so this is a 25% range, we've got 9 frog in each price point. So our liquidity is spread out however we spread it out. Now we've got a bid ask. This means that we can do a wide range and most of our frog will be up here. So you can see here it's 5 frog. Down here it's like less than 1 frog. But what happens is as the price appreciates, we get more price appreciation here. So our actual total liquidity will be much higher because our frog's sitting here. And as the price goes up, if it 2x's here, our frog that's sitting here will be 2x'd. This wouldn't because it's already swapped out as it moved up. You don't have to totally understand it, but you have to be aware of it. I wouldn't recommend a curve because it will swap your frog. If you're high up at a lot, you're doing really well and you want to exit, then definitely I would. If you've got a lot of supply or you're like 10x already, then I would do a curve. But you're going to use spot or you're going to use bid ask. Now, where it gets interesting, if we think, okay, I want to hold frog long term, yeah, and I think frog is going to go back to all time high. Now, I'm willing to hold until all time high, yeah, which is a very large percent. It's 2000% to all time high. Now, there are people that are out there thinking frog will reach all time high. I don't know if it will. So we can say, I want to do 2000% now. And what this will do is it will do a bid ask all the way up here. Yeah. However, we do have to deposit a large amount of Solana. And this is refundable. Yeah. And we will also have to pay a non-refundable and a refundable. So that's our position because there's no more liquidity up here. No one's provided liquidity and those positions aren't open. So we're going to have to open it. So it is costly. However, if you're willing to just put in a large amount into Frog or whatever it is and hold, I would only recommend this if it's like something that you know is going to moon like over time. So this could be good also on a downside position because if you think a coin's going to fall and then drop down, then I would definitely recommend doing that. So I hope this video has been somewhat helpful to you. At some point, you will need it because you'll want to hold something, you're at a loss, yield back. Because if I yield farm this, for example, and it drops all the way down, I can be down 50%. But my yield, and I'm going to just compound it back in, will earn me a break even at some point. Yeah, it's very, very clear. You must. I started this video saying you can, as long as you hold and the coin doesn't die, remember, it must last for 3 months. It must have volume for 3 months. And if you pick winners, they're also going to do really well.